Years ago at the Cinémathèque Française in Paris, I showed Guilty Bystander in the only screenable 35mm print I'd ever found, housed at the British Film Archive. After the show, a wild-eyed cinephile grabbed me and declared the film a major discovery, saying, and I quote, "This was deconstructivist cinema long before Jean-Luc Godard." Well, my late friend Bertrand Tavernier was standing with me, and he, of course, is one of France's most renowned filmmakers and cinema historians. With that distinctive Tavernier twinkle, he said, "Yes, Eddie, I too found it extraordinary, a rare film indeed. Rare because it is inept in every way. The writing, the direction, the acting, use of the camera, the cutting, all of it, utterly disastrous." Well, of course, I expect many of you will weigh in with your own assessment on the Noir Alley Facebook page and Twitter feed. And please don't give me the credit or the blame for salvaging this film from obscurity. That 35mm print I showed was the source of the restoration, but its rescue was funded entirely by film director Nicholas Winding Refn. And the restoration was supervised by my colleague Peter Conheim at the Cinema Preservation Alliance. For years, this was considered a lost film, and it is wonderful to see it resurrected. Refn is doing a lot of this work, rescuing films far out of the mainstream and then streaming them for free on his eclectic website, ByNWR. If you enjoy movies like Shanty Tramp, Stark Fear, and Satan in High Heels, surf over to bynwr.com and explore the seamier margins of American cinema. There's a lot of good essays as well tucked in and around the movies. Now, you may have noted that Max and George's son is never seen in the film, at least until that egregiously happy ending. The first time I saw the movie, I wondered if the kid really existed or if the hunt for him wasn't some sort of booze-induced fever dream. Well, the actual reason is more prosaic, but also more ominous. Ever since the kidnapping and murder of famed aviator Charles Lindbergh's infant son in 1932, Hollywood had a self-imposed ban on showing child abductions. MGM finally broke that unwritten rule in 1956 with the release of Ransom, starring Glenn Ford and Donna Reed. Guilty Bystander would be the final film for two of its performers. Mary Boland was 68 when she made this film, a long way from her heyday in the 30s when she co-starred with Charlie Ruggles in a series of films inspired by the 1935 classic, The Ruggles of Red Gap. She was also memorable in The Women and Pride and Prejudice. Well, maybe you agree with me that once you've seen Smitty, she's among the most memorable characters Boland ever played. This was also the final film for J. Edward Bromberg, one of the founders of New York's Group Theater and a prominent Hollywood character actor during the 30s and 40s. Bromberg had been exiled to New York by the anti-communist witch hunt, and the high blood pressure suffered by his character was no act. Bromberg died the following year of a heart attack. The eulogy given by his young friend Lee Grant led to the actress being blacklisted herself for more than a decade. Well, there is plenty more to say about Zachary Scott, but this won't be the last time he appears in Noir Alley, so I'll save all that for another day. I will sign off this week by noting that the book that started it all for me, Dark City, The Lost World of Film Noir, is out this month in a newly revised and expanded edition. It even bears the Turner Classic Movies imprint, which means you can get it online in the TCM store. A nice gift for hardcore noir fans or those of you just starting to navigate your way through the asphalt jungle. Next week, we journey to the tropics for a star-studded noir from MGM. Robert Taylor, Ava Gardner, Charles Lawton, Vincent Price, and John Hodiak sweat out intrigues and betrayals in The Bribe. So make sure your passport is up to date because I don't want to leave you stranded at the airport. See you then.